Dear students, today we are going to discuss with regard to the concept of Delcredere agent. And in my discussion, I will mention Delcredere agent as DCA for the purpose of convenience. Here, this Delcredere agent is the most likely question under the KLU examination. This topic, which has been discussed under the concept of agency and also under the kinds of agent. Here in our discussion, first we can see the definition of DCA and what is meant by DCA commission and nature of liability of DCA and what is the position of DCA under the commercial acts. For example, Central Goods Services Act. First of all, we can discuss the definition of Delcredere agent. Delcredere agent is an agent who for extra commission guarantees his principal about the solvency of the third parties and he shall perform their obligations as regards the contract. In other words, DCA is a selling agent who is engaged by a principal to assist in supply of goods or services by contracting potential buyers on behalf of the principal. But what is the differentiate between the normal agent and the DCA is that the DCA is a person who guarantees the payment to the supplier. In other words, where the buyer fails to make a payment to the principal by the due date, DCA makes the payment to the principal or manufacturer on behalf of the buyer. And for this reason, the commission paid to the DCA may be relatively higher than that of the normal agent. So this is with regard to the DCA agent. And what is the commission paid to the DCA agent is much higher. That means the extra commission is called as the Delcredere commission because DCA acts as a surety and is liable to pay the principal even if the third parties become insolvent. The Delcredere agents thus takes the risk of bad debts on his head and for shouldering this risk he is paid extra consideration. Because in normal what you call with regard to the commercial agency contracts, the ordinary agents they will not take the risk. What they will do, they will what you call they have been authorized to sold away the goods of the manufacturer to the what you call the buyers on the some credit terms, but they will not take the risk of what you call marketing and they will not take the risk of what you call payment by the buyers. Suppose the buyers doesn't pay on time. So here there is a difference with regard to the what you call the agents and the DCA. When we come to the nature of liability of the DCA, here the nature of liability of the DCA is of that of a secondary liability in character because his legal position is partly that of an insurer and partly that of a surety. This was this has been discussed under the case law of Champaram versus Tulsiram by the Allahabad High Court. Here the DCA the legal position has been discussed in length, and the court explained the nature of liability of the DCA agent, and it has taken the stand neither a DCA is liable to the buyer for any default nor liable for any disputes between the principal and the buyer relating to the contract or the sum due. Here, next aspect we have to discuss with regard to the DCA is that with regard to the what we call whether DCA falls under the para third of the schedule 1 of the CGST Act. Here I already told you the CGST stands for Central Goods Services Act. Here why these are all very much what we call attain importance in the attain importance because in the commercial trade parlance the portion of the DCA has attained much importance. That's why under CGST Act the portion of the DCA has been discussed under the two scenarios. Here, in case where the invoice for supply of goods is issued by the supplier to the customer either himself or through DCA, the DCA does not fall under the ambit of agent. So this has been discussed under the what you call the schedule 1 of the CGST Act. That means to say how the DCA will be accessible. So in order to clarify that one, we have to look into the scenario 2. Under scenario 2, in case where the invoice for supply of goods is issued by DCA in his own name, then the DCA would fall under the ambit of agent. That means this aspect has been discussed by the what you call the under the CGST Act for the purpose of accessibility. When we compare these aspects under the what you call the Contract Act and the CGST Act, it is more or less it is we can say DCA the portion is very important one and also interesting one. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಮಟ್ಟದ ದಲ್ಲಾಳಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಮಟ್ಟದ ದಲ್ಲಾಳಿಯು ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯು ಒಬ್ಬ ಯಜಮಾನನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಗ್ರಾಹಕ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೂರನೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರನೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯು ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀಡಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ನು ಬರದೇ ಇರುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಥ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದಲ್ಲಾಳಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಭಿಕರ್ತ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಭಾರಿಯು ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಹಣವು ಸಂದಾಯವಾಗದೇ ಇರುವ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ತಾನು ಭರಿಸಿಕೊಡುವಂಥ ವಾಗ್ದಾನ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಮಟ್ಟದ ದಲ್ಲಾಳಿ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯಬಹುದು.